At the age of 81, Shelley Fabares is now feeling free to talk about Annette Funicello. She is not trying to surprise people or change what people think about the past to get attention. Shelley Fabares just wants to share what she really thinks. She has lived a life and knows what is important and what people did not understand about Annette Funicello. Shelley Fabares has a lot of thoughts about Annette Funicello. She is finally sharing them. Shelley's story is really connected to the days of American television, just like Annette's is. This was a time when people thought everything was perfect. It was not really like that. Young women were expected to be happy and smile all the time, even when they were feeling a lot of pressure that they did not really understand. The golden age of television was a big part of Shelley's story and Annette's story. Shelley Fabares was born Michelle Annette Fabares on January 19, 1944, in Santa Monica, California. It seems like Shelley Fabares was going to be in the entertainment business one way or another. Shelley Fabares did not have a childhood. Her parents got. Shelley Fabares was mostly raised by her mother. This meant Shelley Fabares had to be independent and responsible from an age. Shelley Fabares had an important person in her life, her aunt Annette Fabares. Annette Fabares was a known actress who worked on Broadway in movies and on television. Because of her aunt Annette Fabares, Shelley Fabares got to see what the entertainment industry was about. The woman figured out that being good at something can get you a lot of opportunities. It is the hard work and the ability to deal with tough times that really makes those opportunities last. She learned that talent can get her in the door, but discipline and resilience are what keep the doors open for the woman. Shelley started doing modeling and being in commercials when she was a kid. This was a way for her to learn how to listen to people and not be nervous. She also learned how to be professional at a young age. What made Shelley special was not that she was really pretty or tried hard to be charming. It was that she was a warm and sensitive person, and this came across really well on camera. When television became really popular in the 1950s, Shelley's simple and honest way of being made her a great fit for television. Television was growing fast. Shelley was good at it because she was so natural and sincere. The big role that changed her career came in 1958 when she played Mary Stone on The Donna Reed Show. People watched Shelley grow up over 6 seasons. She started out as a smart and a little innocent teenager, became a thoughtful young woman who was dealing with being a teenager, being responsible, and having a lot of feelings. Shelley was different from a lot of young actresses back then. She did not seem fake or hard to relate to. When she acted, it felt real and honest. People saw themselves, their daughters, and their families in the stories about Mary Stone and Shelley. She was not just America's daughter. America's daughter was what people called her. That was not all she was. She became a mirror that showed what was happening with people after the war. The way young people thought and felt was. She was a part of that change. Shelley was still on The Donna Reed Show when something big happened to her. She became really famous again. This time it was because she was singing. In 1962, Shelley recorded a song called Johnny Angel. This song is a sad love song that talks about how it feels to have a crush on someone when you are a teenager. The song Johnny Angel went all the way to the top of the Billboard Hot 100 list. This made Shelley a real teen idol. What is interesting about Shelley singing is that it did not feel like a joke. A lot of people who are on television try to sing, but it is usually just for fun and not very good. Shelley's voice was really nice to listen to. She sang in a quiet way, not in a way that was trying to show off. When Shelley sang, you could tell how she was feeling. This music really meant something to people because it sounded true. The songs that came after, like Johnny Loves Me and Johnny Get Angry, were even better. Showed that the musician was getting more comfortable and trying new things. Even though the musician did not make music for a time, the music she did make is still an important part of what was popular in the early 1960s. As the years went by, Shelley had to deal with a problem that a lot of former kid and teen stars face: how to become an adult without losing her fans. She did this well by being careful and smart, slowly taking on more grown-up parts instead of trying to completely change who she was. Working with Elvis Presley was a moment for her. Shelley was in the movies Girl with Elvis Presley in 1965, Spin Out with him in 1966, and Clambake with him in 1967. Out of all the women who starred with Elvis Presley, Shelley was special because she was an actress and seemed really natural. She made people laugh and feel happy in the character she played. These characters could have been boring. She made them interesting. She was great at acting with famous people, like one of the most famous stars in the world, and she did a good job of keeping up with them. Shelley got a lot of praise from critics when she started acting in dramatic television shows. She played the part of Christine Armstrong, who was the wife of Detective Dan August, played by Burt Reynolds. This was really different from the kind of roles she had before. She was nominated for 2 Emmy Awards for this performance. It showed that she was a really good actress. People could not think of her as a former teen star who was popular a long time ago. Shelley proved that she was an actress with a lot of talent. In 1989, Shelley got a part that would be very important for her career. She was chosen to play Christine Armstrong Fox on the television show Coach. This was a time when television shows were just starting to have women characters who were smart and had jobs. Shelley saw that this was a chance for her. Christine Fox was a woman who knew what she wanted. She was confident and good at her job. She was not a woman who was there to be with a man. She was an equal, and she brought a lot of funny moments and calmness to the show. Christine Fox was a character, and Shelley played her very well. Shelley's performance made the character really believable. It felt very warm to the people who watched it. The character that Shelley played had a lot of credibility and warmth because of Shelley's performance. That is what stuck with the audiences. Coach was not a hit at first. Things changed a lot when ABC put it on after the very popular show Roseanne. This move made Coach one of the network's successful shows. People watched Coach because it was a show about sports, and they liked the way Shelley Fabares and Craig T. Nelson worked together on screen. Coach was on television for 8 years until 1997. This made Shelley Fabares a known face on television, someone who could make a show last for a long time, with her steady and nice performances. Coach and Shelley Fabares became a part of many people's weekly routine, with Coach being a show that people loved to watch every week. Shelley got recognized again. She was nominated for 2 awards called Primetime Emmy Awards for the work she did on the show Coach. Shelley had some tough times in her personal life, but she also had some great loves. She got married to Lou Adler, a record producer, in 1964. This was when she was really famous and young. Being married to him put her in the middle of Hollywood and the music scene, which was changing really fast in the 1960s. At first, everything seemed perfect. It did not last. They got separated after 2 years because being famous and working so much was really hard on them. They did not actually get divorced until 1980, which was the end of a long and difficult time for Shelley and Lou Adler. Shelley and Lou Adler were finally done with each other after all those years. The experience was really tough for Shelley. It helped her to understand her feelings better and become more mature emotionally. Shelley's emotional maturity was deeply affected by this experience. True love came into Shelley's life in 1984 when Shelley married Mike Farrell, who's an actor. Shelley and Mike Farrell had a great marriage. It was one of the things that happened in Hollywood. Shelley and Mike Farrell respected each other. They also shared the ideas and values. Shelley and Mike Farrell always supported each other. Shelley and Mike Farrell had a life that was very quiet and free of problems. This showed that Shelley and Mike Farrell could have a love that lasted in the entertainment business. In October 2000, Shelley had a health problem. She found out she had hepatitis, which is a very serious disease. Shelley needed a liver to stay alive, so she had a liver transplant. This was a tough time for Shelley. It was hard on her body and her feelings. Shelley is a strong person, and she got through this difficult time the same way she handled tough things in her career. Her family and Farrell helped her a lot. When it was all over, Shelley felt very thankful, and she saw things in a new way. Shelley can now talk about Annette Funicello in an honest way. Annette Funicello and Shelley both became adults in Hollywood. This was a time when people expected young actresses to always be happy and do what they were told. Annette Funicello had a tough time because she was known as America's sweetheart from the Mickey Mouse Club. Shelley knows how hard that was for Annette Funicello. Annette Funicello and Shelley were growing up with everyone watching them, so they did not have a lot of freedom to be themselves and make mistakes. Shelley remembers Annette as a lot complicated than people thought she was. Annette was really smart. She knew that people had a lot of different ideas about her that did not always match up. The people in Hollywood wanted Annette to stay the same forever, like getting older was a thing. Shelley saw how hard it was for Annette to deal with what people expected of her. It really stuck with her. It taught Shelley that being famous can be really mean when people care more about how you look than who you are. Annette had to deal with this. It was hard for her. Annette was a person, not just a picture, and Shelley learned that from her. Annette's health was getting worse because of sclerosis. This made it really clear how bad the system is. Shelley recalls that Annette did not complain about her pain. She did not want people to feel sorry for her. Instead, Annette wanted to keep her dignity. When Annette decided to tell people about her illness in 1992, it was a brave thing to do. Annette did this to help people with multiple sclerosis, not to help herself. Multiple sclerosis was a part of Annette's life, and she was brave to talk about it. The two women talked a lot during that time, sharing their fears and thoughts. They could really understand each other because they came from the world. Annette told Shelley that she did not want people to remember her for the things she lost. Instead, Annette wanted to be remembered for the things she gave to others. Shelley does not think that the last years of Annette's life were about sad things. Annette's life had sadness in it. It also had love, faith, and the ability to keep going even when things were tough. Now at 81, Shelley Fabares no longer feels bound by Hollywood's old rules. In telling the truth about Annette Funicello, she offers not myth or nostalgia, but honesty. It is a tribute rooted in respect, loyalty, and the quiet heroism of enduring with dignity.